The LG V20 user here, and today I will be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on the LG G17Q. So as you guys know, LG has announced its next flagship phone for 2018, the G17Q. Also, let's go check out this phone and see what it has to offer. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of the notch. I'm not a fan of that, so it is what it is, guys. So let's go check out this thing. Alright, I'm on phoneowner.com here. So if you guys want to go check this out, I will have this link in the description of this video. So go check it out if you guys are interested. It says the latest entry in LG's G series of flagships, the LG G17Q, is finally official. And in case you were wondering, no, it's not pronounced think, but rather thin Q. Weirdly enough, that's why the Q is capitalized. So to tell you guys how to pronounce it, it's not called G7 Think. It's called G17Q. That's why the Q's capitalized. So, yeah, I didn't know about. Yeah, I kind of figured that, but yeah, well, you know how some people are. Some people will pronounce it one way or the other. You know, it is what it is. It's sleek looking, powerful, and has beautiful display. Runs Android Oreo. So that's a win. It has sleek bezel design and water resistance. That's what the phone looks like on front and back. As you guys can see right there, the notch. I'm a fan of the wallpaper, the nice wallpaper there. And as you guys can see right there, with the black strip, you can cover it up and hide the notch, sort of, you know. The G17Q will be available in 4 colors: silver, like a bluish purple there, pinkish, and black there. It has dual cameras, fingerprint sensor, a Google Assistant key, and all that good stuff. Your Google Assistant key is right there on the left side of the phone. No, you cannot reprogram that as of yet. I'm sure that there'll be people try to reprogram that button if they wanted to. But at least it's not Bixby or nothing, because Bixby sucks ass on Samsung. So Google Assistant is the shit. So that's a definite win right there. First thing many will notice when grabbing the G7 for the first time will no doubt be the notch at the top of the screen. Yep, there's an iPhone style notch up there. You're damn right it is. And there are horns on its side that LG is lovely and weirdly referring to as a new second screen. No, fuck that. The new second screen sucks donkey ass. The secondary display on the V10 and the V20, way better than this shit. Trust me, dude. Around the polished Gorilla Glass 5 back of the G7, which looks dazzling by the way, you'll find a pair of dual cameras and vertical orientation, usual LG affair. It will have a standard camera and a ultra wide angle shooter. So that's a win. The front of the phone is also protected by Gorilla Glass 5 as well, so that's a win that Gorilla Glass 5 is on front and back of the phone. It has aluminum frame and all that. The phone looks nice on the back, but the front, I just don't like the notch. That's the only thing I don't like about the phone, is the notch. The G7, obviously, as you guys know, is IP68 certified, which means it's dust and water resistance. It has a full vision display with, you know, that's what the phone looks like there. We don't have an app drawer, but I'm sure that you can add one via settings. The G17Q features 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio, 6.1 inch display, full vision, Quad C plus, 3120 by 1440 pixels. Man, that phone, 6.1 inches, man, I bet you that phone looks big as shit in your hand and in person. It has a 564 pixel density there and impressive brightness. It's not OLED like it was on the V30, but the G7 has it has IPS LCD display on the G7. As you guys know, there's a notch on the fucking display. That's one thing that everyone will notice is a notch. But the notch can be hidden, so to speak, by applying a black strip over the notification bar. It does help notch blend in, but though this trick would be more efficient had the display would have been OLED. You can kind of hide the knots, but you know it's there. You know it's there. I know it's there. Everyone knows it's fucking there, man. Putting a little black strip over the fucking thing ain't gonna fucking do shit about it. But at least they give you the option to do so. Okay. The IPS panel on the G7 is quite a surprise. It has the ability to reach 1000 nits of peak brightness. The LG is calling that the super bright display. LG has added a fourth white subpixel to each pixel. At the same time, the display is up to 30% more power efficient compared to the G6. The display can't keep up like that the whole time. This ultra bright mode kicks in when there's a lot of ambient light, say when you're outside or whatever in the blazing sun. It does help with legibility. It turns off on the sun after 3 minutes, but you can turn it back on by tapping on the brightness icon. You know. So when you're outdoors, you should be able to read the display pretty damn good, man. The G7 don't have a telephoto lens. It has a regular camera lens and a ultra wide angle shooter. It has 16 megapixel dual cameras on back, wide angle lens. Has a narrower angle compared to that to the V30. The G7 has a 107 degree wide angle camera, and the V30 has 120 degrees. But with narrower angle, it also produces less distortion. Okay, so I guess that's a win-win or whatever. The selfie camera on the front is 8 megapixels. If they don't have no hardware tricks or nothing like that. The G7 has the AI camera on there. It's called the AI camera, which is capable of seeing and object recognition. LG algorithms can distinguish between more than 1,000 objects and aim to tweak the settings according for best results. For instance, photographing flowers boosts saturation. Taking a photo of a document increases sharpness and contrast for better legibility. And if a group of people is detected, the software may switch to the wide angle camera on the fly. So that's a definite win. Here are some specs on the G7Q. As you guys know, 6.1 inch display, 3120 by 1440 pixels. Snapdragon 845. It has Qualcomm's best chipset for 2018. There's two versions of the G7 Q. This is G7 and the G7 Plus. The regular G7 has 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage, while the G7 Plus has 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Okay, so do keep that in mind. There's two versions of the G7, a regular one and a Plus version. It has a 30,000 mAh battery, which is a bit smaller than the G6 and the V30. It says the G7 supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 4.0, which is a win. Although the charger you get in the box may only be Quick Charge 3.0 compliant, Q wireless charging is also on board, so it does have wireless charging on there. It has Quick Charge 4.0. So yeah. It says the G7 will launch in South Korea first, because that's LG's homeland, obviously, in the coming days. Wow. Followed by major markets in North America, Europe, Latin America, and Asia. Although no specific dates were given, prices and purchase details will be announced locally closer to the time of availability. So we don't know how much the phone will be. We don't know when the phone will be released. LG says so. We're going to have to wait a bit longer. So yeah. We don't know how much this phone is going to be. I'm gonna say $900 for the. I'm gonna say $900 for the for the G7. Because you know, the as you guys know, the V30 ThinQ is on pre-order right now, and the V30 ThinQ outright it's $929. So the G7 ThinQ is moved right around that price. I'm gonna say between $900 and $950 for the phone. Yeah, it is expensive as fuck. It has all the camera features from the V30 ThinQ. It has all the AI camera features from there. So they brought that over to this to the flagship here. The phone looks nice on back, man. I'm just not a fan of the notch, as you guys know. But you can hide that notch, but you know it's there. I know it's there, and everyone else knows it's fucking there. So hiding the notch ain't gonna fucking really do much. The phone's water resistant. That's a win. It has Google Assistant key, which is nice if you guys like Google Assistant, which I'm a big fan of Google Assistant. I think it's the best voice assistant thing in my opinion. I use it all the time, and it's a definite win. It has a dedicated button for it. For now, you cannot reprogram that button, so do keep that in mind. But I'm sure that people will get this phone and try to reprogram that button. I'm sure people will try to reprogram it, eventually. So you know how that is. We don't know when this phone's gonna get released. So stay tuned to the internet and all that good stuff. The G7 ThinQ will be available in 4 colors. You get silver, black, a bluish purplish color, and a pinkish color. So if you guys are interested in that, a win. The second screen on this G7 ThinQ is, I'm not a fan of that because they call it the second screen. I call it crap because, yo, the best secondary displays in recent memory was the V10 and the V20 from LG. But you know, they can call whatever they want. They can call it new second screen. They can call it whatever the fuck they want, man. Well, if you guys really want a true secondary display, get the V20 or the V10. That will have you covered there. The phone looks nice on the back. I like the back of it. So it's glass on both sides of the phone. So to keep that in mind, it has a aluminum frame around it, so that's a win. So the phone looks very nice, man. Especially on the back. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the notch. That's the only thing I'm not a fan of. That's the only thing I don't like about the phone. But other than that, man, the specs are fucking great. There are 2 versions of the G7. This is G7 and the G7 Plus. The G7 will have 4 GB of RAM, and the G7 Plus will have 6 GB of RAM. So do keep that in mind. The G7 will be, like I said, be $900. I think it'll be $900, and the G7 Plus will be $950. I would say that's what I'm saying. But you know, we'll have to wait and see the pricing and stuff like that. So yeah, would I get this phone? No, because of the notch. That's the only reason I would not get this phone, is because of the notch. I would not get this phone because of that. I personally would not. I like the screen display, 6.1 inches. The battery is a bit smaller this year on the G series of phones. It's a 3000 milliamp battery, so I don't know about battery life. The battery is a bit smaller on this phone. Like I said, the G6 and the V30 had bigger batteries. The G5 had a bigger battery too, didn't it? Or did the G5 had a smaller battery? I think the G5 had 3000 milliamp battery. The V20 had 3200 milliamps. The G6 had 32, I think, or 32, 33. The V30 had like a 32, 33, and this one has 3000 milliamps. So I think the G7 Plus will have the same battery as well, 3000 milliamps on that. So yeah, guys, that is my thoughts and opinions on the LG G7 ThinQ, guys. It's now official. It's coming out eventually, so stay tuned to the internet for when they'll be available and pricing and all that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the G7 ThinQ. Are you guys going to get this phone? So yeah, that's all pretty much it, guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, guys. It really helps me out a lot. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.